Meet me in the trail, it's going down. Meet me in the mall, it's going down. Meet me in the club, it's going down.
All right,
Either way,
we
you meet me
are
guaranteed.
live here with the Keep It Moving podcast, and our team call all in one. But what I'm going to cover today is essentially how to create smart goals, and creating goals so that you can make the best progress possible along not only your health and wellness journey, but any journey that you're on. Using SMART goals is going to um, just elevate the progress you make and make you a lot more likely to stick to the process, because it just kind of paints the picture a little bit more for you, and it kind of builds belief and things like that. So, what does a SMART goal? What does SMART goal even stand for? So it's an acronym. Your goals have to be specific. What is it that you're really trying to accomplish, right? So, um, the less vague you can be with this, the better off you're going to be. So the more specific of a goal that you could come up with, the better off you're going to actually follow through with it, because it's going to mean that much more to you. Uh, an example would be, like, instead of just saying, I want to lose weight, or I just want to be better at pull-ups, it would be, you know, really breaking down, why is it that I want to lose weight? Why will being able to do more pull-ups benefit me? Things like that. Um, because it just gives that connection to the goal, again, branching or connecting you to, you know, a more likely chance of making it happen. So then next is the M, which is the goals have to be measurable. Making the goal measurable, same thing. This is going to actually allow you to see if you're making progress towards that goal or not. Without making it measurable, you have no idea on if what you're doing is leading you towards your goal or not, which in turn is going to give you the risk of dropping off, because you uh, might not think you're making progress when in reality you are, but you just weren't measuring it. So you don't really know that that progress is occurring. And it leads people to want to fall off. So an example of this would be, um just like with the weight loss or the pull-ups. I'll just stick to those throughout this. So, um with weight loss, just saying that you want to lose weight isn't really going to push you much. Where if you said, I want to lose 50 pounds, then that lets you know that 50 pounds is the number that I have to get to in order to have achieved my goal. um Pull-ups, if you weren't able to do any and maybe you just wanted to do one pull-up, well, now you know the goal is to do one pull-up, and eventually it would probably be 5 pull-ups, and eventually it would probably be 10 pull-ups. But knowing that number is going to allow you to know if you're making progress towards that goal, in turn keeping you going and putting in the work to make that happen. Next would be, is that goal achievable? And so this basically, I mean, at the end of the day, almost anything is possible, as long as it's realistic. So this kind of goes together with the next letter as well. But is the goal achievable? So if you came to me and you said, I want to lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks, well, unless we're cutting off a couple limbs, uh, that's probably not going to happen. But if you told me that you wanted to lose 50 pounds and it was in 6 months, then yeah, that's a lot more realistic that can happen. Which actually ties in timed as well. So we got the whole gambit here already. But um, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timed. And so the reason why timing matters is it basically puts a deadline on what we're working towards. And again, it's going to force us into working on the process a lot more. We're going to be much more likely to work on the process and have more intent behind that work if we have a time frame on it, because not putting a time frame on there allows us the wiggle room to just say we're going to eventually make that goal happen. Like if it was the 50 pounds and we didn't put a time frame on it, and you're just constantly, every once in a while you're losing a couple pounds, but then you're gaining some of it back, and then you're losing some of it again, and then you're gaining some of it back. You don't actually feel like you're failing in this moment because you never put a deadline on it. Now, putting that deadline on, saying it's 6 months is the goal to lose the 50 pounds. Now I know 6 months from now, if I didn't lose 50 pounds, then I didn't do enough during that 6 months to make that happen. And it's just going to be, again, much more likely that you're achieving that goal if you have that level of intent, knowing you're going to be a lot more aggressive, knowing that I need to get this done by this time to make sure that it happens. And it doesn't even have to be a 6 month goal. Like that, it's good to have long-term goals, obviously. But what will help you lead to achieving those long-term goals is setting short-term goals for yourself as well along the way. So, just to make it simple, let's say you wanted to lose that 50 pounds in 6 months. Um, Instead of just looking at that picture, and we have this 8-week challenge coming up, right, which is 2 months long. You can look at that and say, well, a third of the weight, right? So instead of 50 pounds, maybe you shoot to lose 15 to 20 pounds this challenge, and that works you towards that 50-pound weight loss goal. At least now you have the window narrowed down to the point where over the next 2 months, you'll have an idea of if you are headed in the right direction towards losing that 50 pounds. One, it gives you something to work towards so that you know that you're making progress yet again. But two, it also lets you know if you're not working hard enough and doing the right things often enough to get to that 50 pounds by 6 months. So it gives you that opportunity to make adjustments along the way so that you can, at the end of the day, make sure that that goal, that main goal, ends up happening with those short-term goals, right? So those short-term goals build up, build up, build up, and that will lead you to that long-term goal. The short-term goals too don't even have to be that long. They could be, you could break them down to your short-term goal is on a week-to-week basis where, maybe you're not hitting your protein goal at all at the start of this, which is the case for a lot of new people. Your goal might be you see that in week 1. Your goal for week 2 might be, I need to hit my protein goal at least once next week. And then the week after that, it's twice. And then the week after that, hopefully it's more than 3 or 4 times. And you're going to start to see a lot more progress happen the more often that you're able to cross off these daily tasks. So it leads you to a whole nother topic that I will cover plenty over this next 8 weeks or so, 9 weeks. But it's the win the day mentality and basically attacking the tasks that are going to push you forward and put you closer to your goal. Each time that you cross off one of those tasks is a victory, and that is going to inch you forward closer and closer to your goal. Every day that you're able to cross all of them off, it's only going to get you that much closer to your goal that much sooner, the more often that you can be consistent and effective with crossing those tasks off. So if you are unsure of what those tasks should be, reach out to me. I'd love to help you get started with that. If you are unsure of what a protein goal should look like for you, you're not sure of what kind of workout program that you should be doing, or you just need the added accountability to make that happen, reach out. I'd love to help you. We've got a good thing going on right now. We have several people who have lost over 50 pounds. You know, and that doesn't have to be everyone's goal, obviously. We have people that have lost 5 to 10 pounds and really have toned up their body and changed their body compositions. People that got back to running, half marathons, even looking to do full marathons, all types of things like that. So whatever your goal is, we are built for it. We have people that have tried and were successful with whatever goal you're most likely thinking of. So don't hesitate to reach out and come along for the ride with us. And yeah, so that is what I got for you guys today. I'm going to break it down into Q&A here, and we will close up the call. We got 3 minutes. So you got any questions, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, no real questions. I guess just kind of piggyback on what you were saying. Like those, I mean, the goals are great to have, and the one thing I always try to have is your short term goals, your midterm goals, your long term goals. Like for me, like earlier this year, as you know, and probably some other people that are listening to this know, like I started working out every day. Like that was my goal, to do a workout every day, and that's what it started with. And it's like, all right, now you start seeing some of that progress. Now you have these medium goals, and now you have like your long term goals, and those short term goals are what sometimes keep that motivation going. When you're hitting those short-term goals over and over, it's like, all right, well, now I know I can do these things, and it makes those long-term goals more feasible. The long-term goals can sometimes be pretty daunting if they're big goals.
Yep, exactly. When they are big goals, and so a couple things, maybe the goal is just so big that you don't even notice yourself chipping away at it. Or sometimes the goal is so far away that you think that you have more time to, like, you could start a little bit later to get to it because it's still 6 months down the road. So that's where creating those short-term goals will definitely help accelerate that progress and things like that, in my opinion, as well. So that's a good point. Great point.
Yep.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, for sure.
Any other questions or anything before we close it out?
No, I think I'm good. Definitely good to remember the goals. It's easy to lose track of what you're doing if you don't have goals.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to, getting into this thing. I will touch base with you on your weekly check-in. But other than that, feel free to shoot me a text, or if you need fantasy advice. Now I feel like a guru again.
Yeah, right.
I'm back on the high horse. But have a good rest of your night, and let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, you too, man.
Take it easy.